John Cage was an American composer and music theorist that has shaped music in the 20th century in many different ways. He was a pioneer, has been a pioneer in indeterminacy in music, electroacoustic music, and non-standard use of music instruments. It's been a figure that has lived within a wider framework of the evolution of modern art in the 20th century. Has been instrumental also in dance. For instance, he was for the lifetime partner of Merce Cunningham, that it was a very famous and influential dancer and choreographer of the last century. I want to discuss here a particular piece of John Cage that is based on indeterminacy and randomness. It's called Music of Changes. It is a piece for piano. Actually, it's a long collection of pieces for piano written for David Tudor, who was a pianist and friend of John Cage, and who has premiered many of his compositions. Now, the process of composition of this piece is based on decisions that are made using a process that uses the I Ching, this Chinese text of divination, a very, very old text of divination, that is mapped onto all the musical parameters of this piece. You can hear it in the PowerPoint associated with this video, or you can look for it on YouTube. Let's see how this composition comes about from the use of this I Ching for the mapping and decision making in the composition process. So the I Ching, it's a text that describes combination of 64 hexagrams. Hexagrams, you can see this also in the notebook that is associated with this video, are 6-line figures of either yin, broken lines, or yang, solid lines, and the commentaries that are associated to particular combinations of these hexagrams. There are two main methods of building the lines of an hexagram, either using 50 yarrow sticks or 3 coins. And the process is also kind of it's a more complex process than just extracting a particular number from the yarrow sticks of the coins. Some lines are designated as old lines. That means that then they are changed to create a different hexagrams. And then, as I was saying, the text that is associated to a combination of hexagrams is what is used for divination. So it's kind of an oracle that comes from the randomness of the choice that comes from the process of extracting and creating these hexagrams. So the hexagrams are here in this slide. You can see them. And here, what John Cage did for this particular piece is employing the I Ching derived chance operation to create charts for the various musical parameters. So there is a chart for tempo, there is a chart for dynamics, one for sounds, one for silence, one for duration or superposition of different sounds. And with this chart, he was able to create a composition with a very conventional manner of notation. That means he actually wrote music using the traditional notation system of Western classical music. But all these elements were derived from a chance choice through this I Ching system. You'll see in the notebook that I have written a software version of the I Ching divination system that is then used to demonstrate how, using this system, we can actually compose music in the style of music of change. So here are some of the notes from the original Cage's notebooks, where he lists different hexagrams and different parameters, and this is a way of kind of mnemonic or mapping these parameters into the score. The actual procedure for mapping is here. I mean, it is described in this slide. There are 8 charts for sound and silences, 8 charts for durations, 8 charts with amplitudes, and then a single chart for tempo and contrapuntal layers. So each chart has 8 rows and 8 columns, like you see here. And then there are some precompositional decisions that you make. So the sounds chart is only single pitches, intervals, aggregates, and constellations, so more rhythmic combination of notes. Cage uses all the 12 tones of the equal temperament system, and makes also similar decision for rhythm. So this is to say that it's true that this composition is firmly founded on random choices that come from the randomness of the generation of the hexagrams, but it also indicates how important is the role of the composer here in harnessing this randomness in a coherent aesthetic, musical aesthetics. So it's not just that we throw dice and we put numbers or notes on a score. There is a framework that is built around the process and makes it complex and interesting. So these are 2 examples of actual scores of these charts, the translation of the charts into scores, where we see here sounds, so notes and combination of notes, and here is for rhythm, for instance. These are different rhythmic figurations that Cage uses in his composition.